Welcome to my channel USA Old Coins, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare U.S. coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. The story of the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny 2009 is a story that takes us through a journey of history, artistry, and one of the most celebrated moments in American coinage. While most pennies are spent and forgotten, the 2009 Lincoln penny holds a special place in the hearts of collectors and historians alike. It represents not just a coin, but a milestone, a tribute to one of the greatest presidents in American history, Abraham Lincoln, and the 200th anniversary of his birth. The year 2009 was no ordinary one for the U.S. Mint. It marked 2 centuries since the birth of Abraham Lincoln and a full century since his portrait first appeared on the 1-cent coin in 1909. To celebrate this incredible dual anniversary, the Mint released a series of 4 unique designs on the reverse side of the penny, each one telling a different chapter of Lincoln's life. These designs transformed the familiar Lincoln cent into a miniature timeline of American history. The obverse of every 2009 penny retained the classic image of Abraham Lincoln, the same portrait designed by Victor David Brenner that first appeared a century earlier. Lincoln's thoughtful expression, captured in remarkable detail, has become one of the most enduring symbols of integrity, leadership, and freedom in American coinage. But it was the reverse side in 2009 that truly made these pennies extraordinary. The first design, known as the Birth and Early Childhood in Kentucky, shows a simple log cabin, Lincoln's birthplace in 1809. This design reminds collectors of his humble beginnings, growing up in a one-room cabin on the frontier, where his values of hard work and honesty were first shaped. The second design, called Formative Years in Indiana, portrays a young Lincoln reading a book while sitting on a log, his hands resting on a workman's tools. This powerful image symbolizes Lincoln's hunger for knowledge and self-education, even while working as a laborer in his youth. The third design, Professional Life in Illinois, depicts Lincoln standing before the State House in Springfield, where he began his political career as a lawyer and legislator. It represents his growth from a young man of ambition to a statesman ready to lead the nation. The fourth and final design, Presidency in Washington, D.C., shows a partially constructed U.S. Capitol dome, symbolizing the divided nation Lincoln sought to reunite. This design captures his legacy as the president who preserved the Union and ended slavery. Each of these 4 designs was struck in 2009 at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, making 8 total varieties when counting both mint marks. Additionally, proof versions were produced at the San Francisco Mint for collectors, featuring mirror-like finishes and stunning detail. Another exciting aspect of the 2009 pennies is their composition. To celebrate the centennial of the Lincoln cent, the Mint temporarily returned to the original bronze alloy used in 1909, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, for the special collector editions. Circulating coins, however, remained the standard copper-plated zinc. This distinction makes the 2009 copper versions especially prized by numismatists. For collectors, the 2009 Lincoln pennies symbolize more than monetary value. They represent the story of a man who rose from poverty to the presidency. Each design embodies a chapter of determination, wisdom, and leadership that continues to inspire generations. What truly sets some 2009 pennies apart are their rare minting errors and varieties. Among these, double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks are the most sought after. Doubling on Lincoln's face or lettering can create dramatic and collectible errors that drive coin enthusiasts into a frenzy. There are also examples of 2009 pennies with incomplete or weak strikes, giving them a ghostly appearance where parts of the design are missing. These coins, often caused by striking pressure or misaligned dies, are considered highly collectible due to their rarity. In some cases, planchet errors, such as improper alloy mixes or unplated zinc surfaces, have been found among 2009 pennies. These anomalies, though rare, make each discovery feel like unearthing buried treasure. The 2009 designs are not just coins, they are pieces of art that together tell the American story. The detail in each design, from the texture of Lincoln's cabin to the steps of the Capitol, reflects the Mint's dedication to craftsmanship and storytelling through metal. Even years after their release, the 2009 pennies remain popular among collectors young and old. Many remember searching through pocket change or rolls of coins hoping to find all four designs. That sense of discovery and connection to history makes these coins special to millions of Americans. Collectors particularly value coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition. The 2009 pennies, when preserved in their bright red, lustrous state, can command impressive prices, especially those featuring rare errors or struck from the special copper planchets. Proof sets from 2009 are especially beautiful, showcasing the four designs in brilliant clarity. These coins, struck multiple times to bring out every detail, are often kept in sealed cases, never touched by human hands, preserving their perfection for future generations. The Lincoln bicentennial pennies also hold educational value, teaching younger generations about the life and legacy of Abraham Lincoln. Many schools and museums used them as teaching tools, connecting students with history through something tangible and small yet deeply symbolic. In the years since their release, collectors have noted that certain varieties, especially those with double dyes or high-grade copper compositions, have steadily increased in value. The market for Lincoln cents remains strong, as each coin tells a piece of the nation's story. The 2009 Lincoln cent is not only a tribute to the man who shaped America but also a celebration of the artistry and innovation of U.S. coinage. It bridges the past and the present, linking the very first Lincoln penny of 1909 with the bicentennial celebration a century later. The penny's enduring appeal comes from its accessibility. Anyone can find one, yet only a few hold the truly rare treasures hidden among them. That element of mystery keeps collectors searching year after year. Some 2009 pennies display stunning rainbow toning, iridescent hues caused by oxidation over time. These naturally toned coins are especially admired for their visual beauty and uniqueness. For many, the Lincoln cent is more than just a coin, it's a piece of history that fits in the palm of your hand. The 2009 issues capture the essence of Lincoln's life story and serve as a lasting reminder of his values and his vision for a united nation. Every collector dreams of finding a 2009 penny that stands out, a flawless proof, a dramatic error, or a perfectly preserved example with rich, red luster. These coins are treasures that bring excitement and pride to any collection. At coin shows and auctions, 2009 pennies in exceptional condition continue to draw strong interest. Each design tells its own part of Lincoln's journey, and together they form one of the most beloved commemorative series in U.S. mint history. Even casual collectors often hold on to 2009 pennies, sensing that there's something special, different from the usual change. Their connection to Lincoln's life gives them emotional and historical value that far exceeds their face value. The legacy of the 2009 Lincoln penny continues to grow with time. As more coins become worn or lost to circulation, high-grade examples become rarer and more desirable, especially those from the early production runs. The artistry, symbolism, and significance of the 2009 penny make it a standout among modern American coins. It's a coin that captures both the story of a man and the spirit of a nation. Among all the 2009 Lincoln 1-cent pennies ever discovered, one rare and beautifully preserved specimen emerged as a true masterpiece. It featured a flawless strike, radiant luster, and a remarkable minting variety that made it one of the most valuable of its kind. When that coin surfaced, it stunned collectors and auction houses alike, proving that even a single cent can be worth an incredible fortune when history, rarity, and perfection meet. The breathtaking worth of that extraordinary 2009 United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny was $63,000. Top 2. The story of the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny 2009 is one of the most fascinating chapters in modern American coinage. This penny is not just an everyday coin, it's a celebration of history, legacy, and craftsmanship. It represents a moment when the U.S. Mint paid tribute to one of the greatest figures in American history, President Abraham Lincoln. Marking both the 200th anniversary of his birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent, the year 2009 was a monumental one for coin collectors and history enthusiasts alike. For the first time in a century, the familiar Lincoln penny was redesigned to tell the incredible story of Lincoln's life in 4 chapters. Each new design on the reverse side offered a glimpse into a different part of his journey, from his humble beginnings in a log cabin to his years as president leading a divided nation. While the obverse of the coin still carried the iconic portrait of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, the reverse side became a rotating tribute to his life. This was the first major change in the Lincoln cent series in decades, and collectors eagerly awaited the release of these special coins. The first design, titled Birth and Early Childhood in Kentucky, shows a log cabin representing Lincoln's birthplace. This simple yet powerful image reflects the honesty and modesty that would become hallmarks of his character. It reminds every American that greatness can begin in the humblest of places. The second design, Formative Years in Indiana, captures Lincoln as a young man sitting on a log, reading a book while holding a tool in his other hand. This symbolizes his relentless pursuit of knowledge and self-improvement, even while working to help support his family. The third design, Professional Life in Illinois, shows Lincoln standing in front of the State House in Springfield, where he began his legal and political career. This stage of his life marked his growth into a skilled speaker and thoughtful leader, preparing him for the immense challenges that lay ahead. The fourth and final design, Presidency in Washington, D.C., depicts the partially constructed Capitol dome, symbolizing the unfinished work of a nation torn by civil war. This design serves as a tribute to Lincoln's vision and strength during one of America's darkest times. Together, these 4 reverse designs created a story told through copper and zinc, a story of growth, perseverance, and transformation. It was the first time a circulating coin series had been used to tell a president's life journey in such detail. In addition to the designs, collectors were thrilled to see a return to the classic composition. For special collector editions, the Mint produced versions of the 2009 Lincoln pennies in 95% copper, the same metal used for the original 1909 cent. These coins were struck for collectors in proof and uncirculated sets and became immediate favorites. The standard circulating coins, however, were made with the usual copper-plated zinc alloy. Despite this, their historical importance made even these everyday pennies worth holding on to. People across the country began checking their change, searching for the special 2009 designs. Coin collectors quickly discovered that certain varieties of the 2009 Lincoln penny were far rarer than others. Minting errors, misaligned dies, and doubling on the lettering or design features made some examples stand out dramatically. These errors transformed what might have been just another penny into a potential treasure. Among the most exciting discoveries were the double die varieties. On some coins, careful examination revealed doubling on Lincoln's face or the inscriptions, details so subtle they could only be seen under magnification, yet so significant they elevated the coin's desirability. Another factor that makes the 2009 pennies so special is their incredible level of detail. The U.S. Mint went to great lengths to ensure that each design captured the spirit and setting of the era it represented. The textures of the log cabin, the folds in Lincoln's clothing, and the fine architectural lines of the Capitol all demonstrate the Mint's dedication to quality and artistry. Collectors often speak about how holding a 2009 Lincoln penny feels like holding a piece of living history. It's a small reminder of Lincoln's journey, from a boy reading by candlelight to a man guiding a nation toward freedom. Over time, some of these coins developed beautiful natural toning, displaying shades of red, orange, and blue. These colors are caused by the interaction between the coin's surface and the environment, making each toned penny one of a kind and visually stunning. The 2009 Lincoln penny also became a teaching tool, used in classrooms to help students understand Lincoln's life and achievements. Teachers and historians found that coins offered a tangible way to connect with the past, turning lessons into stories that could be held and admired. At coin shows, collectors proudly displayed their complete 2009 Lincoln cent sets, often stored in presentation folders or protective cases. Many sought out the finest examples with brilliant luster and flawless surfaces, coins that had never been touched by human hands. The San Francisco Mint's proof versions of the 2009 pennies became especially sought after for their mirror-like fields and razor-sharp details. These coins, struck multiple times to ensure perfect definition, capture every fine element of the design. While millions of these pennies were made, finding a perfect or error-free specimen can be surprisingly challenging. Over time, circulation wear, scratches, and exposure to the elements have reduced the number of pristine examples in existence. That scarcity, combined with the historical significance of the coin, makes certain 2009 Lincoln cents worth far more than their face value. Especially those struck with rare varieties, or those preserved in high mint state condition, can bring extraordinary prices in auctions. The 2009 Lincoln cent stands as a reminder of how even the smallest coin can hold monumental meaning. It bridges 2 centuries of coinage, from the first Lincoln penny of 1909 to the bicentennial celebration of 2009. Collectors often say that the Lincoln penny tells the story of America itself, hard work, perseverance, and the pursuit of liberty and equality. The 2009 issues beautifully embody these ideals through each of their designs. One of the most fascinating aspects of this coin is its ability to inspire curiosity. People who had never collected coins before suddenly found themselves drawn to this series, intrigued by its story and artistry. The coin's timeless message continues to resonate with new generations of collectors. As more 2009 pennies are lost from circulation, the remaining high-quality examples become even more desirable. Auction records show that some of the finest 2009 pennies, especially those with rare errors, have achieved remarkable prices. The combination of historical context, design beauty, and scarcity makes them irresistible to numismatists. Every time you hold a 2009 Lincoln penny, you're holding a piece of America's legacy, a reminder of the power of perseverance and the enduring impact of one man's vision for a better nation. The story behind the 2009 Lincoln penny reminds us that history isn't always found in museums or monuments. Sometimes, it's found in the palm of your hand, shining with a copper-red glow. Among all known examples, one 2009 Lincoln 1-cent penny stood out as a true masterpiece, flawless, brilliant, and struck with exceptional precision. Its combination of perfection and rarity made it one of the most valuable of its kind. When that extraordinary coin was presented at auction, it captivated collectors and enthusiasts from around the world. The final sale confirmed its legendary status among modern American coins. The incredible value of that United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny 2009 was $66,000. Top 3. The United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 2009 is far more than just a coin. It's a living story told in metal, a tiny time capsule celebrating one of the most important figures in American history. Every detail of this coin reflects the life, legacy, and leadership of Abraham Lincoln, the man who changed the destiny of the nation. For collectors and historians alike, the 2009 penny isn't just another cent, it's a masterpiece of design, meaning, and emotion that captures the soul of America itself. In 2009, the U.S. Mint embarked on a remarkable journey to honor the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln Cent series. It was the first time in 100 years that the reverse of the Lincoln penny underwent a dramatic transformation, turning what had always been an everyday coin into a miniature piece of storytelling art. The 2009 Lincoln penny series tells the incredible story of Abraham Lincoln's life through 4 different reverse designs, each one marking a defining chapter of his journey. Together, they create a visual biography of a man who rose from poverty to become one of the most respected leaders in world history. The first design is known as Birth and Early Childhood in Kentucky. It shows a simple log cabin surrounded by nature, representing Lincoln's humble beginnings. This image reminds us that greatness can emerge from the most modest of origins, a fitting tribute to a man born in a single-room cabin in 1809. Second design, Formative Years in Indiana, portrays young Lincoln sitting on a log, reading a book with one hand and holding a tool in the other. It's a perfect symbol of his dedication to hard work and self-education. Even as a boy, Lincoln was known for his thirst for knowledge and his determination to better himself. The third design, Professional Life in Illinois, moves forward to Lincoln's time as a lawyer and legislator. It shows him standing before the State House in Springfield, the very place where he began his public life and built the foundation for his future presidency. This design captures Lincoln's transition from dreamer to doer, from student to statesman. Finally, the fourth design, Presidency in Washington, D.C., features the half-completed U.S. Capitol dome, a powerful image of a nation still under construction, divided but destined for unity. This design reminds collectors of the monumental challenges Lincoln faced during the Civil War and his vision of preserving the Union. Each of these designs tells a story, and together they form one of the most meaningful coin series ever issued by the United States Mint. It wasn't just about changing the design, it was about honoring the journey of a man whose leadership shaped the ideals of liberty, equality, and democracy. Collectors were thrilled when these coins were released, and they quickly became the most sought-after modern pennies. People all across America began searching their pocket change for these commemorative 2009 designs, hoping to find a piece of this historic series. The obverse of the coin continued to feature Victor David Brenner's timeless portrait of Lincoln, the same design that first appeared in 1909. That portrait has now endured for more than a century, symbolizing both continuity and respect for Lincoln's legacy. What made 2009 even more special was the return of the classic copper composition for collector's editions. While circulating coins were made from the modern copper-plated zinc alloy, the special proof and mint set versions were struck in 95% copper, just like the original 1909 cents. These special issues were gleaming tributes to the past, beautifully struck and highly detailed. The U.S. Mint produced these pennies at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint mark, P, D, or S, added another layer of collectability. The S mint proofs from San Francisco are particularly admired for their mirror-like surfaces and crisp details. But what makes the 2009 Lincoln penny truly remarkable is not just its artistry or symbolism, it's the rare varieties and errors that have emerged. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for special mistakes that make a coin unique, and 2009 produced some fascinating examples. Among these are double die varieties, where parts of the design or lettering appear to be slightly doubled. Such errors can occur during the minting process when the die shifts slightly, creating a distinctive visual effect. Some 2009 pennies also show striking issues, like off-center designs or weak strikes, which further enhance their rarity. Collectors have also discovered color variations that make each 2009 penny different. Some have a brilliant red hue, others a soft brown tone, and a few display stunning natural toning in shades of violet, blue, and gold. These color shifts make every coin visually unique and more appealing to those who appreciate natural beauty. The level of craftsmanship on these coins is extraordinary. Every line of Lincoln's coat, every plank of the cabin, every brick in the Capitol was sculpted with precision. When viewed under magnification, the details are astonishing, showing just how much care went into the minting of this series. Because of this attention to detail, the 2009 Lincoln Cent series has become a collector's favorite around the world. People see in it not only the story of Abraham Lincoln but also the evolution of American coin design and artistry. These coins are not merely monetary items, they're educational artifacts. Teachers and history lovers often use them to explain Lincoln's life, his moral courage, and his deep belief in equality and justice. Each design serves as a visual timeline of his remarkable journey from a log cabin to the White House. Coin collectors often talk about the emotional connection they feel with the 2009 Lincoln pennies. Holding one feels like holding a piece of the American story, a small but powerful reminder of how one person can change history. While millions of these pennies were minted, finding one in pristine condition has become increasingly difficult. Most coins entered circulation and show signs of wear. High-grade, uncirculated examples are much rarer and far more valuable to collectors. The 2009 pennies also mark an important turning point in the Lincoln Cent series. After this special edition, the U.S. Mint introduced a new permanent reverse design in 2010, featuring the Union Shield, making the 2009 coins the final chapter in the century-long story of the original Lincoln Cent tradition. Auction houses and coin grading services have noted increasing interest in high-quality 2009 Lincoln Cents, especially those with unique errors or exceptional strike quality. These coins continue to attract both seasoned collectors and new hobbyists. Each year, the demand grows as more collectors realize the significance of the 2009 issues. They are seen not just as coins but as artistic and historical treasures, symbols of Lincoln's perseverance, the American dream, and the mint's craftsmanship. Collectors take pride in assembling all 4 designs from each mint, creating complete 12 coin sets that tell Lincoln's life story in perfect order. These sets are often passed down through generations, becoming cherished family heirlooms. Even casual coin enthusiasts can appreciate the meaning behind the 2009 Lincoln penny. It's more than copper and zinc, it's a monument to progress, freedom, and the human spirit. Every detail reminds us of the power of learning, leadership, and compassion. As time passes, coins like this become more than just collectible, they become legends in the world of numismatics. And among all these coins, one stands above the rest, a pristine, high-grade example that captures the full brilliance of the 2009 design. When that exceptional coin was presented to collectors, its perfection, historical importance, and rarity made it one of the most valuable Lincoln pennies ever recorded. Its auction created headlines among numismatists, proving that even a humble 1-cent piece can carry immense worth. The stunning value of that United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny 2009 was $60,000. Top 4. The United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1965 holds a unique place in American coinage history, representing a period of transformation, experimentation, and quiet mystery within the U.S. Mint. On the surface, it might appear to be an ordinary penny, the kind you'd find jingling in your pocket or resting at the bottom of a drawer. But behind this small coin lies an incredible story that connects to the heart of America's changing economy and the enduring image of President Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of honesty, resilience, and unity. In the mid-1960s, America was undergoing tremendous change. The nation was entering a new era of technology, politics, and culture. The U.S. Mint was also experiencing a major transition, struggling to keep up with coin shortages across the country. During this time, the Lincoln penny of 1965 was quietly produced without a mint mark, carrying forward a design that had already been beloved by generations. The 1965 Lincoln 1-cent penny continued to feature Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. This design, first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Lincoln's 100th birthday, had already become a lasting symbol of American strength and character. Even decades later, Brenner's design was still regarded as one of the finest ever engraved for a U.S. coin. Lincoln's calm, dignified face on the 1965 penny speaks volumes. His gaze forward symbolizes vision and progress, while the word liberty beside him reflects the ideals he fought to preserve. Beneath the year 1965, there is something unusual: no mint mark. This was a deliberate choice, made during one of the most fascinating moments in U.S. Mint history. In 1965, due to a severe coin shortage, the U.S. Mint made several bold decisions. Among them was the temporary removal of mint marks from all circulating coins. The goal was to discourage coin hoarding, which had become a national problem as people began saving coins for their metal content and collectible potential. As a result, every 1965 penny, whether struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, bore no mint mark at all. This unusual change makes the 1965 Lincoln cent stand out in the long timeline of American coins. It represents a year when practicality overrode tradition, and the nation's mints worked around the clock to produce enough coins to keep the economy flowing. The reverse of the 1965 penny featured the famous Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design replaced the original wheat ears reverse and became one of the most recognizable images in American coinage for half a century. The Lincoln Memorial reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, showcases the monument in exquisite detail. Look closely under magnification, and you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, an incredible artistic achievement for such a small coin. The inscription "United States of America" arcs above the memorial, with E pluribus unum proudly displayed above the structure, and the denomination 1 cent below. This combination of artistry and symbolism made the Lincoln Memorial penny an enduring part of American culture. However, what truly makes the 1965 Lincoln penny fascinating to collectors today is not just its design, it's the rare and mysterious varieties that exist. During that year, the U.S. Mint was experimenting with new coin compositions and production methods. Some coins were struck on leftover planchets from previous years, resulting in fascinating minting errors. Among these rare varieties are 1965 pennies struck on silver dime planchets or on bronze planchets with unusual thickness or coloration. These minting anomalies have become highly sought after in the world of numismatics, with certain examples commanding extraordinary prices at auction. Collectors have also identified several die varieties, including doubled dies where letters or details appear to be slightly duplicated due to misalignment during the striking process. A true doubled die 1965 penny can easily catch a seasoned collector's eye, as even a subtle doubling can drastically increase a coin's value. Another factor that adds to the allure of the 1965 Lincoln cent is its connection to the transitional period of U.S. coinage. Just 1 year earlier, in 1964, the U.S. Mint had begun the process of eliminating silver from circulating coins, changing the metal composition of dimes, quarters, and half dollars. The penny, though still made primarily of copper, became a symbol of continuity amid all the change. Over the decades, many 1965 pennies have disappeared from circulation, worn down by use or lost over time. Finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is increasingly rare. A bright, fully red 1965 penny with a strong strike and full luster is a gem in the eyes of collectors. These coins may appear simple, but they represent the resilience of American coinage during a time of economic pressure and technological advancement. Each 1965 penny that survives in mint condition is a small piece of history preserved in copper. When held under good light, the details of the coin's design shine beautifully. Lincoln's profile appears bold and lifelike, and the reflective fields around his image bring the artistry to life. On a flawless specimen, even the faintest details, like the edge of his coat or the texture of his hair, stand out crisply. Collectors often remark that the 1965 penny is an underappreciated treasure. Its story is not as famous as other Lincoln cents, but it represents a crucial turning point in U.S. mint operations. It's a coin that tells of innovation, adaptation, and the quiet determination to keep America's economy moving. Because of these historical ties, 1965 pennies in top condition have become increasingly valuable in the collector market. Especially those with unique errors, perfect luster, or deep red coloration can fetch surprising prices from enthusiastic buyers. The appeal of this coin extends far beyond its metal value. It's a symbol of American perseverance, a reminder that even in challenging times, the nation's ideals remained engraved in every coin, every note, and every act of progress. For modern collectors, discovering a rare 1965 penny feels like uncovering a secret from a forgotten era. Each coin carries the fingerprints of history, the marks of a mint under pressure, and the enduring face of Lincoln, who continues to inspire generations. Many coin enthusiasts dedicate years to searching for the most pristine 1965 specimens. Some even specialize in collecting every Lincoln cent from each decade, and the 1965 issue holds a special place in those collections. When a perfect example of the 1965 Lincoln penny appears at auction, flawless in color, sharp in detail, and possibly containing an unusual error, the excitement among collectors is electric. Bidders know they are competing for a rare piece of numismatic art that connects the past to the present. The 1965 penny stands as a reminder that no coin should be overlooked. Even the smallest denomination can carry a story of change, determination, and national pride. From minting challenges to design excellence, this coin embodies the American spirit. Amazing to think that something so small, something most people would overlook, can hold such historical importance and financial worth. A simple penny, if preserved perfectly, can be worth more than anyone might imagine. Among all the examples of the 1965 Lincoln 1-cent penny, one particular coin stood out. A flawless specimen struck with extraordinary sharpness and gleaming red luster, preserved as if frozen in time. When it finally went under the hammer at a major auction, collectors from around the world turned their eyes to it, knowing they were witnessing history. That exceptional 1965 Lincoln 1-cent penny, A coin that symbolized a nation's transformation and resilience, achieved an astonishing value, $185,000. Top 5. The United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1982 is one of the most intriguing and talked about coins in modern American numismatic history. What appears to be an ordinary penny has a fascinating story filled with mystery, transition, and discovery. The 1982 Lincoln cent marked a historic shift in how America's most familiar coin was made, a change that still excites collectors more than 4 decades later. The story of the 1982 penny begins with a problem that seems small but had enormous consequences: the rising cost of copper. For decades, the Lincoln cent had been made primarily from copper, but by the early 1980s, the value of the metal itself began to exceed the coin's face value. It simply became too expensive to continue producing 1-cent coins from nearly pure copper. The U.S. Mint needed a solution, and in 1982, they made a monumental decision to change the composition of the Lincoln cent. For the first time in over 70 years, the familiar penny would no longer be mostly copper. Instead, the Mint introduced a new, cost-effective version, one made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating. This transition didn't happen all at once. During 1982, the Mint produced both the traditional copper cents and the new zinc ones, resulting in multiple varieties of the same year's penny. This overlap turned 1982 into one of the most complex and collectible years in Lincoln cent history. In total, there were 7 distinct varieties of the 1982 Lincoln penny. The differences came from 3 main factors: metal composition, mint location, and the size of the date numerals. There were large date and small date versions struck in both copper and zinc, from both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Collectors quickly realized that 1982 was unlike any other year. To understand why these differences matter, one must look closely at the coin's physical characteristics. The copper versions of the 1982 penny weigh about 3.11 grams, while the zinc versions weigh only 2.5 grams. That tiny difference in weight is the key to identifying whether a penny is made of copper or zinc. The small date and large date varieties refer to subtle differences in the size and shape of the numerals in the date. These details are most noticeable on the 2 and 8, which have slightly different curves and thicknesses. To the untrained eye, these variations might seem minor, but to a coin collector, they mean everything. The obverse of the 1982 penny features Victor David Brenner's timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, just as it had since 1909. Over 7 decades, this portrait had become a beloved national symbol of leadership and unity. On the reverse, Frank Gasparo's depiction of the Lincoln Memorial continued to appear, showcasing the enduring architectural beauty of the nation's capital. The inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and "United States of America" remained unchanged, linking the new generation of coins to a century-old tradition. Yet beneath that familiar face and design, a quiet revolution in U.S. coinage was underway. When the new zinc pennies began circulating, the difference was immediately noticeable. They felt lighter, produced a duller sound when dropped, and over time, proved to be less durable than their copper predecessors. Many zinc pennies corroded or developed spots, while copper cents remained strong and radiant. Collectors soon discovered something even more exciting: the possibility that transitional errors, coins struck on the wrong metal planchet, might exist. These rare mistakes happened when leftover copper blanks were accidentally used to strike 1982 pennies after the switch to zinc had begun. Finding a 1982 penny struck on a copper planchet during the zinc production period became a numismatic dream. These transitional errors are incredibly rare and valuable because they represent the exact moment when history was changing at the Mint. In 1982, both the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced pennies, but none bore an S mint mark because proof coins were struck separately in San Francisco. This adds another layer of complexity, as some proof examples display extraordinary detail and mirror-like surfaces that make them breathtaking to behold. Over time, collectors have learned to appreciate the artistry and precision required to distinguish between all the varieties of 1982 cents. Each variety tells a slightly different story about that pivotal year in U.S. mint history, when technology, economics, and tradition collided. For new collectors, the 1982 penny is an ideal coin to begin exploring. It teaches valuable lessons about minting, metal composition, and the significance of even the smallest design differences. For experienced numismatists, it remains a treasure hunt that never loses its appeal point. One of the most famous 1982 varieties is the 1982D small date copper penny. This coin was once thought not to exist until a few extraordinary examples surfaced years later, stunning the numismatic community. These coins are considered the holy grail of modern Lincoln cents. Their rarity stems from the fact that they were struck at the Denver Mint, where production had already shifted to zinc planchets. Somehow, a small batch of copper planchets was used by mistake, creating one of the most valuable modern penny errors ever found. When one of these 1982D small date copper cents was authenticated and graded in perfect condition, it caused an uproar among collectors and instantly became a legend in the coin world. Such coins embody the thrill of discovery that drives collectors to search their change for hidden treasures. Even ordinary 1982 pennies, if kept in flawless condition, are admired for their historical significance. High-grade examples with full luster and no blemishes are prized additions to Lincoln cent collections. The 1982 penny serves as a reminder of how something as simple as a 1-cent coin can reflect the economic pressures and technological challenges of an entire era. It symbolizes adaptation and innovation, the ability to change while preserving tradition. Today, the story of the 1982 Lincoln penny continues to inspire collectors. Thousands of people still weigh their coins, inspect their dates, and dream of finding that one rare copper variety hiding in plain sight. Each coin, whether copper or zinc, large date or small, carries the legacy of a time when America's most familiar coin quietly reinvented itself. And through all the changes, the image of Abraham Lincoln endures, reminding us that true value lies in perseverance and history. The 1982 penny teaches a timeless lesson, that even the smallest coin can have a story as rich as gold. It shows that great discoveries often come from paying attention to the smallest details. Among all the known examples, one exceptional 1982 Lincoln 1-cent penny stood out, a flawless, brilliant copper specimen preserved in perfect condition. Its rarity, historical importance, and connection to one of the greatest coin transitions in U.S. history made it a centerpiece of fascination and desire. When that stunning coin finally appeared at auction, collectors around the world eagerly followed the event, knowing they were witnessing a modern treasure being claimed. The remarkable value of that United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny 1982 was $134,000. Top 6. The United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1983 is one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins of the modern era. What makes this coin so special is not immediately visible to the casual eye, yet it has captured the imagination of collectors for decades. Behind its familiar copper color lies one of the most famous transitional errors in the entire Lincoln cent series, an error that transformed an ordinary penny into a remarkable piece of American history. The year 1983 came right after one of the biggest transitions in U.S. coinage history. In 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of the Lincoln cent from nearly pure copper to a mostly zinc coin with a thin copper coating. This change was driven by rising copper prices that made it too expensive to continue minting traditional copper cents. But with that change came unexpected consequences that would give birth to one of the most valuable pennies ever struck. During this transition, the mint had to completely overhaul its production process. The old copper planchets were replaced by lighter zinc ones, and every detail of the minting operation had to adjust to the new material. Mistakes, however, are almost inevitable during such changes. Somehow, in 1983, a few leftover copper planchets from the previous year found their way into the presses, and the result was extraordinary. What emerged was a 1983 Lincoln penny struck on a copper planchet when all regular production coins were supposed to be made of zinc. This simple mistake created one of the most sought-after modern coins in the hobby. Collectors call it the 1983 copper penny, and it's a discovery that continues to amaze and excite coin enthusiasts to this day. To understand just how unusual this coin is, one must first know that all 1983 pennies should weigh around 2.5 grams, the standard weight for the zinc-based cents. But the rare error coins struck on leftover copper planchets weigh about 3.11 grams, the same as older copper pennies. This weight difference became the key to identifying one of the greatest modern rarities in American coinage. At first glance, the 1983 penny looks like any other coin. It features Victor David Brenner's timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1983 to the right. Beneath the date, collectors can sometimes find the small D mint mark if the coin was struck in Denver, or no mint mark at all for coins from Philadelphia. The reverse showcases Frank Gasparo's elegant depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, a design that adorned the penny from 1959 through 2008. The bold inscriptions "United States of America," "E pluribus unum," and 1 cent stand proudly, emphasizing both national pride and the enduring symbol of value, though its design remained the same. The 1983 penny's true story lies beneath the surface, in its metal. Because 1983 was the first full year of zinc production, no official copper cents were supposed to exist. That's why when a collector discovered one that weighed over 3 grams, it sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. The first known example of the 1983 copper penny was authenticated by experts, confirming that it was indeed struck on a copper planchet meant for 1982 production. This revelation opened up a thrilling new chapter for collectors, who began weighing their 1983 pennies in hopes of uncovering another hidden treasure. What makes this coin even more thrilling is that both the Philadelphia and Denver mints are known to have produced rare copper errors in 1983. The 1983 D copper penny, in particular, is one of the rarest of them all. Finding one is like discovering a piece of lost history, an accidental survivor from a time of change. Collectors around the world have scoured their change jars and old coin rolls, searching for one of these elusive 1983 copper pennies. Every 1983 penny that feels slightly heavier than normal has the potential to be worth thousands, or even more. It's this dream of discovery that keeps the legend alive. Beyond the error varieties, the 1983 penny holds historical importance as a symbol of America's economic transformation. The early 1980s were a time of inflation, recession, and recovery. The shift from copper to zinc reflected the nation's adaptation to changing times, making this coin a small but powerful marker of resilience. The 1983 penny also showcases the artistry of Lincoln's enduring portrait. Brenner's design, first introduced in 1909, has graced billions of coins, making it one of the most reproduced pieces of art in the world. On the 1983 cent, Lincoln's thoughtful gaze and the fine detail of his beard remind us of his place in American history as a symbol of freedom and equality. For collectors, the fascination with this coin goes beyond metal composition. It's about connection. Every 1983 penny, whether common zinc or rare copper, connects us to a moment of transition, an echo of the past that continues to live in our pockets and collections. The discovery of the 1983 copper penny also inspired new generations of treasure hunters. Stories began circulating of people finding rare coins in ordinary places, pocket change, piggy banks, even dusty drawers that hadn't been opened in years. This gave hope that valuable coins might still be out there, waiting to be found. Even within the zinc versions, collectors have discovered unique varieties and errors such as double dyes, plating blisters, and off-center strikes that make certain 1983 pennies stand out. Each variation adds to the coin's intrigue, turning a simple cent into a potential collector's piece. The 1983 double die reverse penny, for instance, is another spectacular find from this year. On that variety, the lettering on the reverse side, especially United States of America and E pluribus unum, shows clear signs of doubling. Well-preserved examples can command impressive prices at auction. With so many exciting varieties and possibilities, the 1983 penny has become a cornerstone of modern coin collecting. It represents a turning point in U.S. mint history, when cost-saving innovation unexpectedly gave birth to numismatic legends. Those who hold a 1983 copper penny in their hands are not just holding a coin, they're holding a piece of American history, a link between the old era of copper and the new age of zinc. Its warm color, heavier feel, and historical importance make it one of the most meaningful small coins ever produced. Each time a collector picks up a 1983 penny, there's a sense of wonder and curiosity. Could this be one of the rare ones? Could this little coin, forgotten in a drawer for decades, turn out to be a hidden treasure worth a fortune? That's the magic that keeps the story alive. Even experts agree that only a handful of genuine 1983 copper pennies exist. Their rarity makes them highly sought after, not just for their metal composition, but for their story, one of human error, timing, and chance that created something truly priceless. In the world of coin collecting, few discoveries have captured the public's imagination like the 1983 copper penny. It embodies everything that makes numismatics exciting: mystery, rarity, and history intertwined in one small piece of metal. It serves as a reminder that even the smallest details, a coin's weight, its sound, its color, can hold the key to uncovering something extraordinary. And that somewhere, perhaps in your own collection, a hidden gem might be waiting to be discovered. The 1983 Lincoln 1-cent penny will forever remain a symbol of transition and discovery, representing how change can sometimes lead to unexpected treasures. It tells the story of America's adaptability and the beauty of imperfection in the minting process. Among all the coins ever struck, few have created as much excitement, curiosity, and inspiration as this one remarkable cent from 1983. Its story continues to encourage collectors to look closer, dig deeper, and never underestimate the value of even the smallest coin. And for one stunning example of the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny 1983. Preserved in perfect condition, struck on a copper planchet, and authenticated by experts, the incredible value reached $130,000. Top 7. The United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1987 might look like a simple, ordinary coin that you could find in your change jar, but beneath its humble copper glow lies a story that connects art, history, and mystery all at once. The 1987 Lincoln penny has a fascinating tale that captures the spirit of American coinage and continues to intrigue collectors even decades after it was minted. Though billions of pennies were struck that year, a few special pieces stand out as true treasures, coins that hold immense historical importance and remarkable value. When you pick up a 1987 Lincoln penny, you're holding a piece of American craftsmanship that honors one of the nation's greatest leaders, Abraham Lincoln. His profile, designed by Victor David Brenner, has graced the 1-cent coin since 1909, making it the longest-running design in United States coinage history. The 1987 penny continues that proud legacy with sharp details and bold inscriptions that reflect both tradition and change. The year 1987 came during a stable period for the U.S. Mint, but it was also an era of quiet evolution. By that time, the Lincoln cent was fully transitioned into its zinc composition, a copper-plated zinc planchet weighing 2.5 grams. This change, introduced in 1982, was meant to cut production costs as the price of copper soared. Though it looked the same as its older counterparts, its metallic heart had changed forever. This shift in materials made minting more efficient but also introduced new possibilities for errors, varieties, and unusual patterns. And for collectors, 1987 became an unexpectedly exciting year. Some Lincoln pennies from that time were struck with strikingly sharp details, while others showed minting errors so unique that they became treasures worth thousands. Every 1987 penny tells a story through its details. The obverse displays Abraham Lincoln's right-facing portrait, surrounded by the timeless motto, "In God We Trust," at the top, the word liberty to the left, and the date 1987 on the right. Depending on where it was made, you might see a small mint mark beneath the date, a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco proof coins, or no mint mark for those struck in Philadelphia. Flip it over, and you'll find Frank Gasparo's classic design of the Lincoln Memorial, which graced the reverse of the penny from 1959 through 2008. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, a tribute within a tribute. Above it reads United States of America, below it 1 cent, and between them the national motto E pluribus unum. While the majority of 1987 pennies circulated widely and remain common today, a few exceptional pieces escaped into the world with minting errors or extraordinary qualities that make them highly sought after. Among them are coins struck with off-center designs, double dies, and even pieces struck on the wrong planchets. Mistakes that transform an ordinary cent into a numismatic marvel. Point: one of the most exciting varieties of the 1987 penny is the doubled die. On these rare coins, the inscriptions or design elements appear doubled due to a misalignment during the die production process. Collectors search for doubling in areas like Liberty or In God We Trust, and when found, these features dramatically increase the coin's value. Another intriguing discovery from 1987 comes in the form of off-metal errors. These are coins that were accidentally struck on planchets intended for other denominations, such as dimes or foreign coins. A 1987 penny struck on a bronze planchet or a foreign blank would be exceptionally rare and could fetch an astounding price at auction. Beyond errors, condition plays a huge role in a coin's value. A 1987 Lincoln penny in perfect mint state condition, showing no signs of wear and with sharp, mirror-like surfaces, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And if the coin also exhibits a rare minting feature or variation, its worth can skyrocket. The proof versions of the 1987 penny, produced at the San Francisco Mint, also hold a special charm. These coins were never intended for circulation and were struck multiple times with polished dies to give them a flawless, mirror-like finish. Proof coins are a collector's delight, admired for their detail and brilliance, yet what truly excites collectors about the 1987 penny is not just its rarity, but its place in history. It stands as a bridge between the old and the new, between the era of solid copper cents and the modern zinc coins of today. It's a symbol of change, adaptation, and endurance in the face of evolving economic times. The penny itself has long been a subject of national conversation. By 1987, discussions about whether to keep producing the cent were already circulating. Many argued that it cost more to make than it was worth, but others defended its place as an iconic American symbol that connects generations. For those who cherish the Lincoln penny, the 1987 issue represents an age of precision minting and a celebration of a century-old design. Every tiny detail on this coin, from the arch of Lincoln's brow to the lines of the memorial, is a testament to American craftsmanship and artistry. Collectors often describe the thrill of finding a pristine 1987 penny in circulation as something magical. Even though billions were made, finding one in uncirculated condition with full red luster is a true delight. These coins gleam like miniature time capsules, preserving the look and feel of the 1980s. Over the years, more and more collectors have turned their attention to modern Lincoln cents, recognizing that even small minting differences can make a huge impact on value. The 1987 penny is no exception. It has proven that coins from the late 20th century can be just as fascinating and rewarding as their older counterparts. Some 1987 pennies have also drawn attention for subtle die cracks, repunched mint marks, or unusual toning caused by exposure to various environmental conditions. These small quirks add character and individuality to each coin, giving collectors even more reasons to treasure them. Imagine the journey of a 1987 penny. It might have passed through countless hands, from a gas station clerk's register to a child's piggy bank, from vending machines to collectors' albums. Each coin tells a story of hard work, of commerce, and of the enduring symbol of Abraham Lincoln's legacy. Lincoln's image on the penny is more than just art, it's a reminder of the values he stood for: unity, perseverance, and equality. That's why even a simple coin like the 1987 penny carries emotional weight. It's not just metal, it's meaning. And when you think about how one small error or unique strike can elevate a coin's worth to unimaginable levels, it shows how beauty and rarity can emerge even from something as common as a penny. That's the wonder of numismatics. It transforms everyday objects into stories worth telling. Collectors today continue to search coin rolls, jars, and estate collections hoping to uncover one of those elusive 1987 rarities. And every so often, a discovery makes headlines, reminding us that the smallest treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. The 1987 penny teaches an important lesson to collectors and dreamers alike: always look closer, because sometimes the extraordinary hides within the ordinary. Whether it's a double die, a proof strike, or an off-metal error, the thrill of discovery keeps the passion for coins alive. Even in its simplest form, the 1987 Lincoln cent remains a cherished piece of Americana. It's part of a tradition that began in 1909 and continues to this day, a tribute to Lincoln's enduring presence in American hearts and history, for those lucky enough to possess a truly rare 1987 penny. Perhaps with a rare minting anomaly, preserved in perfect condition, the value can be astonishing. It's a reminder that a coin's worth is not only in its face value, but in the story it carries and the rarity it represents. And for one magnificent specimen of the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny 1987, flawlessly struck, preserved with stunning perfection, and authenticated by experts, the incredible value reached $112,000. Top 8. The United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1993 may seem like just another everyday coin, but hidden within this unassuming piece of copper-plated zinc lies an incredible story of craftsmanship, mystery, and unexpected value. It's a coin that bridges 2 centuries of American history and represents more than just a fraction of a dollar. It stands as a lasting tribute to Abraham Lincoln, the president whose face has symbolized integrity, unity, and strength for generations. When we hold a 1993 Lincoln penny, we're touching a piece of American tradition that traces back all the way to 1909. That was the year the Lincoln cent was first introduced, marking the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the portrait of Lincoln became an instant classic. More than 8 decades later, in 1993, that same design continued to define the American penny, proving its timeless beauty and national significance. By 1993, the Lincoln penny had long transitioned from solid copper to a modern composition of copper-plated zinc. This change began in 1982, when copper prices rose so high that producing each penny actually cost more than 1 cent. The U.S. Mint made the switch to zinc cores coated with a thin layer of copper, giving the coin its traditional color but a lighter feel. Yet even though the design and purpose of the penny remained the same, small minting quirks and rare production errors in 1993 transformed some of these coins into priceless treasures. What makes certain 1993 pennies worth astonishing amounts is not just their age, but the unique mistakes, variations, and perfect conditions in which they survived. The 1993 Lincoln penny's obverse side proudly displays Abraham Lincoln's right-facing portrait, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" arching above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1993 to the right. Depending on where the coin was minted, a small mint mark appears below the date, either a D for Denver or no mark at all for Philadelphia. Each detail is finely struck, a miniature work of art that honors one of America's most respected leaders. Turning the coin over reveals Frank Gasparo's famous depiction of the Lincoln Memorial. This design, introduced in 1959, replaced the earlier wheat ears reverse and continued to be used through 2008. It captures the grandeur of the memorial in exquisite detail, even showing a tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside. The inscriptions "United States of America," "E pluribus unum," and 1 cent frame the image, reminding us of the unity and ideals that define the nation. Though billions of 1993 pennies were struck for circulation, not all of them were created equal. Among the countless ordinary examples, a few remarkable coins stand out for their errors, unusual features, or exceptional preservation. These are the coins that have captured the attention of collectors and sold for thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars at auction point. One of the most famous types of rare 1993 Lincoln cents are the double die varieties. These occur when the coin die, used to stamp the design, shifts slightly between impressions, creating a doubled image. On these rare coins, the lettering or date may appear slightly offset or shadowed. Doubling on words like "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" can instantly turn an ordinary penny into a valuable collector's prize. Another fascinating find from 1993 is the off-center strike. These coins were struck when the blank planchet was misaligned in the coin press, resulting in a design that's shifted to one side. Depending on the degree of the error, some off-center pennies retain partial design elements while leaving blank areas on the surface. These unusual coins are highly sought after by collectors because every one of them is unique. Sometimes, even more extraordinary mistakes occurred. A 1993 penny might have been struck on a wrong planchet, perhaps a blank intended for a dime or a foreign coin. Such errors are exceptionally rare and can command enormous prices when authenticated by professional grading services. Condition, of course, plays a major role in determining a coin's value. The 1993 Lincoln penny in pristine mint state, showing full red luster and no signs of wear, stands at the top of collector demand. Coins graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading companies are considered elite, and only a few have ever reached that level. The proof versions of the 1993 penny, struck at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark, are also remarkable. Proof coins are made using polished dies and planchets, giving them mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. These coins were sold in special collector sets and were never meant for circulation, making them rare in flawless condition. The artistry of the Lincoln penny design deserves special attention. Brenner's original portrait of Lincoln captures not just his likeness but his spirit, calm, dignified, and resolute. The design has endured through wars, recessions, and celebrations, becoming a symbol of stability in an ever-changing world. Why 1993, America had entered a new era of technology, globalization, and innovation. The penny, however, remained a comforting reminder of continuity. Despite debates over whether to retire the 1-cent coin, the Lincoln penny remained a cornerstone of U.S. currency, cherished for its heritage and simplicity. For collectors, the 1993 penny represents a hidden opportunity, a coin that appears common but can, in rare cases, be worth a small fortune. It's a lesson in paying attention to the smallest details, because sometimes, the greatest treasures are hiding in plain sight. Many people have found rare 1993 pennies in pocket change, old jars, or inherited coin collections. Stories continue to surface of lucky discoveries that turned an ordinary cent into a life-changing find. It's this element of surprise that keeps the world of coin collecting so exciting. Beyond its monetary value, the 1993 penny carries emotional and historical meaning. Every coin minted bears witness to its time, to the economy, the leadership, and the values of that year. When you hold a penny from 1993, you're holding a tangible piece of history from the early years of the Clinton administration, a time of optimism and change. Collectors today seek out 1993 Lincoln cents in all their forms, uncirculated, proof, and error varieties. Each has its own charm, and together they tell the story of America's ongoing relationship with its smallest yet most symbolic coin. Some collectors focus on finding 1993 pennies with full red coloration, while others hunt for unique toning, natural color variations that occur over time. Coins that develop rich hues of orange, violet, or blue can be especially beautiful and valuable. The thrill of searching for the rarest 1993 penny is what keeps collectors digging through rolls, boxes, and even dusty jars. Every coin tells a story, and you never know when you might find the one that stands out, the one that could change everything. In the numismatic world, the 1993 Lincoln penny stands as a reminder that rarity often hides within the ordinary. A simple coin struck more than 30 years ago still has the power to inspire wonder and discovery. That's the magic of the Lincoln cent. It connects the past, present, and future through one enduring design. Even in modern times, when digital payments dominate, the penny continues to hold sentimental and symbolic value. It's the coin that taught children about money, that jingled in the pockets of workers and dreamers, and that still bears the face of a man whose legacy changed a nation. The story of the 1993 penny is not just about metal and minting, it's about perseverance and history. It's about finding greatness in something small and ordinary, and realizing that even the tiniest treasures can carry incredible stories. Collectors and historians alike continue to cherish the Lincoln penny as a masterpiece of American coinage. From 1909 to 1993 and beyond, it remains a tribute to the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln and the spirit of the United States itself. So, if you ever come across a 1993 penny that looks a bit unusual, perhaps with a shine that catches your eye, or a design that seems slightly different, don't dismiss it too quickly. You might just be holding something extraordinary, and for one astonishing example of the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny 1993, preserved in flawless condition, struck with unmatched precision, and authenticated by experts, the incredible value reached $89,000. Top 9. The United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1994 might appear to be an ordinary coin resting quietly in your change jar, yet beneath its copper-colored surface lies a story rich with history, artistry, and potential fortune. This little coin, bearing the image of Abraham Lincoln, is far more than a piece of everyday currency. It's a bridge that connects the early 20th century with modern America, and for a few lucky collectors, it's a doorway to unimaginable value. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909, was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, and not just any figure. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, a man who preserved the Union and ended slavery. Designed by the sculptor Victor David Brenner, this penny instantly became a national favorite, symbolizing integrity, equality, and the enduring American dream. By 1994, the Lincoln penny had already been in production for 85 years, and it had evolved with the nation. From its original wheat ears reverse to the Lincoln Memorial design introduced in 1959, the penny had mirrored the changes in America's history, economy, and artistry. Each design shift marked a new chapter in the story of this iconic coin. The 1994 penny continued the tradition of the Lincoln Memorial reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo. On one side stood Lincoln's dignified portrait, facing right, while on the other stood the grand monument built in his honor in Washington, D.C. It's fascinating to note that if you look closely at the coin, you can even see the tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, an incredible detail considering the coin's small size. During the year 1994, the U.S. Mint produced these pennies at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and proof versions were struck at the San Francisco Mint. Each bore its distinct mint mark, with a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or no mint mark for Philadelphia. Though billions of these coins were struck, not every one of them came out perfectly. Among the countless ordinary 1994 pennies, a few were created with rare minting errors or struck with extraordinary precision, making them worth far more than a single cent. These are the coins that collectors dream about. Coins that transform pocket change into treasure. One of the most captivating aspects of the 1994 Lincoln cent lies in its composition. Like all pennies struck after 1982, it was made of a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper. While this change saved the U.S. Mint millions of dollars in production costs, it also introduced new challenges, such as plating bubbles, weak strikes, and other unique features that sometimes turned out to be collectible rarities. Collectors often look for 1994 pennies with double die errors, coins that display subtle doubling in the lettering, date, or design. When the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between impressions, it leaves a shadow-like doubling that can be seen with the naked eye or under magnification. These fascinating errors give each affected coin a distinctive appearance and can dramatically increase its value. Another valuable variety includes the off-center strike. These occur when the coin blank, known as a planchet, is not perfectly aligned during striking. The result is a coin with a missing section of the design, leaving part of the planchet blank. The more dramatic the off-center error, while still showing the date, the higher its value can climb among collectors. Sometimes, an even more astonishing mistake occurs when a 1994 penny is struck on the wrong planchet, such as one intended for a dime or even a foreign coin. These rare misstrikes create coins that are both visually unique and highly sought after by serious collectors, often commanding impressive sums at auction. The condition of a coin, however, remains one of the most critical factors in determining its worth. For a 1994 penny to be truly valuable, it must be in exceptional condition, what collectors call mint state. These coins retain their original luster, sharp details, and vibrant copper-red color, showing no signs of circulation or wear. Coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services are considered elite and can fetch jaw-dropping prices. Even minor imperfections can reduce value significantly, which is why collectors handle these coins with utmost care, often preserving them in sealed holders for protection. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are another highlight of the 1994 penny series. These coins were specially made for collectors using polished dies and planchets, resulting in a mirror-like surface and incredible clarity of detail. Each proof coin captures Lincoln's likeness with breathtaking precision, making it a miniature work of art. The Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse side of the 1994 penny has its own special charm. Introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, it replaced the classic wheat ears design that had adorned the coin for 50 years. This design remained in use until 2008, making the 1994 penny part of a long and beloved era of American coinage. For collectors, the 1994 penny represents not just a coin, but a piece of living history. It tells a story of change, of how materials, technology, and artistry evolved while the symbol of Lincoln's face remained steadfast, reminding Americans of their values and their past. Many coin enthusiasts enjoy searching through rolls of pennies from banks or coin shops, hoping to uncover a rare 1994 error or a pristine mint state example. The thrill of finding something valuable hidden among the ordinary is what makes coin collecting such an exciting pursuit. Some lucky individuals have stumbled upon rare 1994 Lincoln cents in circulation, unaware of their potential worth until later. These stories of unexpected discoveries continue to inspire collectors to keep looking, because even today, treasures can be found in the most unlikely places. Beyond its financial worth, the 1994 penny carries emotional significance. It's a reminder of Lincoln's enduring legacy and the ideals of unity, freedom, and perseverance he championed. Every time you hold one of these coins, you hold a piece of that legacy in your hand. The artistry of the Lincoln penny continues to be admired by collectors worldwide. The design's simplicity and strength, combined with its historical importance, make it one of the most recognized and respected coins ever minted in the United States. Also interesting to note how the Lincoln penny has survived calls for its elimination over the years. Despite debates about production costs and practicality, the penny endures because it represents more than monetary value. It's a symbol of American history and identity. For the numismatic community, the 1994 Lincoln penny offers countless possibilities. Whether it's a rare double die, an off-center strike, or a coin in perfect mint condition, each one adds depth to the rich tapestry of U.S. coinage history. Collectors often share stories of their finds and discoveries, comparing varieties and learning to identify subtle differences that set rare coins apart from ordinary ones. The 1994 penny continues to be a fascinating part of that journey, a coin that teaches patience, attention to detail, and appreciation for history. Even in the digital age, the allure of physical coins remains strong. Holding a 1994 penny connects you directly to a tangible moment in time, a reminder that history isn't just something written in books, it's something you can touch, see, and even carry in your pocket. The 1994 Lincoln penny has aged gracefully over the decades, and those few extraordinary specimens that have survived in pristine condition are now worth far more than anyone could have imagined when they were first struck. Its value lies not only in metal or rarity, but in the story it tells, the story of a nation, a leader, and the enduring power of a small coin to inspire big dreams. And for one remarkable example of the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny 1994, preserved in flawless condition and authenticated by experts, the astonishing value reached $86,000. Top 10. The United States of America Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1995 may seem like just another small coin we pass through our hands every day, but behind its humble copper appearance lies a fascinating story that continues to capture the imagination of collectors across the country. This coin is not only a tribute to one of America's greatest presidents, Abraham Lincoln, but also a piece of numismatic history filled with hidden varieties, minting mysteries, and surprising value for those who know what to look for. The 1995 Lincoln penny marks a special point in the long and enduring life of the Lincoln cent series. It represents nearly 9 decades of production since the coin's debut in 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, and not just any figure, but the man who preserved the Union and ended slavery. Over time, this small coin became a national symbol of freedom, integrity, and perseverance. By the 1990s, the Lincoln penny had already undergone several transformations, especially in composition. The earlier pennies, struck from bronze, had been replaced in 1982 with coins made mostly of zinc and coated in copper. This change was driven by the rising cost of copper, but it also led to new minting challenges, and with challenges came rare varieties that continue to intrigue collectors to this day. The 1995 penny was struck in massive numbers at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, identified by the absence or presence of a small D mint mark under the date. Additionally, proof versions were minted at the San Francisco Mint for collectors, bearing the sharp details and mirror-like finish typical of proof coins. Billions of 1995 pennies were released into circulation, yet a few of them became instant treasures due to rare minting anomalies. The most famous variety from this year is the 1995 double die obverse penny. This coin caused a sensation when collectors discovered that Lincoln's portrait and the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" showed distinct doubling, an effect created when the die used to strike the coin shifted slightly between impressions. This doubling is easy to spot with the naked eye and has made this coin one of the most sought-after modern errors in the Lincoln cent series. The doubling on the 1995 penny appears bold and clear, especially in the lettering around Lincoln's head. Unlike some older double dies that require magnification to confirm, this one practically announces itself, making it a thrilling discovery for anyone searching through their pocket change. When collectors realized how striking the error was, excitement spread rapidly across the numismatic community. While the 1995 double die penny was not an intentional rarity, it became an icon among modern coins. Its popularity helped introduce a new generation to coin collecting, as everyday people began to check their pennies for doubling. Even today, coin roll hunters and hobbyists continue to dream of finding this famous error in circulation. But beyond the double die variety, even standard 1995 Lincoln pennies can be worth more than their face value when found in exceptional condition. Collectors value coins that retain their original copper-red luster and show no signs of wear. These mint-state examples, when professionally graded, can command significant premiums on the market. For proof coins, quality is equally important. The 1995's proof pennies are works of art, showing every detail of Lincoln's face and the Lincoln Memorial with crystal clarity. Their mirror-like fields and frosted designs create a stunning contrast that attracts collectors who appreciate the artistry of U.S. mint craftsmanship. The reverse design of the 1995 penny, featuring the Lincoln Memorial, was created by Frank Gasparo and introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The memorial design lasted until 2008, making the 1995 coin part of a long era of American numismatic tradition. If you look closely at the coin's reverse, you can even see a tiny image of Lincoln's statue inside the memorial, an incredible level of detail for such a small coin. What makes the 1995 penny even more appealing to collectors is its role as one of the last years before major minting technology improvements reduced the frequency of visible double die errors. That means the 1995 double die penny stands as a bridge between the classic minting quirks of the past and the more precise techniques of the modern era. Finding one of these coins in pristine, uncirculated condition can feel like holding a piece of American history in your hand. Each mark, shine, and strike tells a story of how far minting technology has come and how a small mistake can turn into a piece of treasure. Collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents often build complete data and mint mark sets, spanning over a century of American history. Within those collections, the 1995 double die is considered one of the crown jewels of the modern era. Its striking visual appeal and historical importance make it a centerpiece in any serious collection. Even standard 1995 pennies can hold value beyond 1 cent if they're in top condition. A flawless example graded MS-68 or higher by a professional grading service can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, as collectors compete for the best preserved examples. The condition of the coin is everything in the world of numismatics. A slight scratch, a touch of discoloration, or even minor handling marks can make a huge difference in its market price. That's why collectors often use gloves, airtight holders, and controlled environments to preserve their most valuable coins. Also important to remember that 1995 marked an era when the U.S. Mint was transitioning to more advanced quality control systems, but human error was still part of the process. That's what makes this year's double die and other rare varieties so significant. They are a snapshot of a moment in minting history, beyond its financial worth. The 1995 Lincoln penny serves as a reminder of how everyday objects can hold deep historical and emotional meaning. It connects us to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, whose leadership and wisdom continue to inspire Americans more than a century after his death. Each Lincoln cent tells a part of the American story. The 1995 penny, in particular, represents the continuity of tradition in a rapidly changing world. As technology advanced and the economy evolved, the simple penny endured, carrying Lincoln's portrait through time. Collectors today are drawn to the 1995 penny not just for its rarity, but for its symbolism. It's a coin that reflects America's resilience, the beauty of imperfection, and the unexpected value hidden in the ordinary. In the world of coin collecting, few discoveries are as thrilling as finding a double-die Lincoln cent in your pocket change. The 1995 version continues to bring excitement and wonder, reminding everyone that treasures can still be found in the most common places. The beauty of this coin lies in its accessibility. Unlike many old rarities locked away in private collections, the 1995 penny can still appear in circulation, offering anyone the chance to uncover a small fortune with a keen eye and a bit of luck. As time passes, high-quality 1995 Lincoln pennies, especially those with the famous doubling, will only become rarer. Many have been lost, damaged, or simply overlooked, making surviving examples even more desirable. Numismatics, the study and collecting of coins, thrives on discoveries like these. It's not just about money, it's about history, art, and the joy of uncovering the extraordinary in the everyday. The 1995 penny embodies that spirit perfectly, holding a pristine 1995 Lincoln cent, especially one with a dramatic double die, is like holding a snapshot of American craftsmanship and a reminder of how even the smallest mistakes can turn into masterpieces. The next time you find a 1995 penny in your pocket, take a moment to look closer. Check the inscriptions, study the details, and imagine the journey that little coin has taken. Who knows? You might just be holding something truly special, and among the most exceptional examples ever discovered. One remarkable 1995 Lincoln 1-cent penny, flawless in preservation and celebrated for its rarity, was valued at $83,000.